Let's bring in Kevin. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
How
you can
doing?
bring me in with no sound.
There he is. Now we should have sound, right?
You guys
We
hear
got
us?
sound with everybody. Now can you hear us? Hello? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Or are you on your page?
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
there
it.
we are.
We're good.
All right, now
We're
we can hear
good.
him. Now we got him. All
Radio
right.
technology. Gotta love
Oh, the beauty here, right? Huh?
it. Hey, guys.
So before we get into Kevin Mack here, let's say this: we're going to announce the winner from yesterday for our tickets to H2OBX Water Park. Joe, who was that?
Maria Brickhouse.
Yay! Congratulations to Maria Brickhouse. Maria, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you an inbox. We'll message you on Facebook, let you know how you got your tickets to the water park. So thank you guys for everybody that commented and shared and liked it. Put your morning roll call comments here so we can see just where you are and what you're up to. That makes it nice. Jill is going to duck out here in a little bit because she has things to do. She wants to pre-prep some of the stuff for the show, and that'll let us chat with Kevin this morning. So before we brought him on this morning, Kevin, we were talking about you got COVID while you were out in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, last July. At a testing center, believe it or not.
You did not.
Yeah, it's 100% where I got it. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just trying to help
you're fine.
TJ out there a little bit. So did you, how bad was it?
It was pretty bad, man. It definitely, I tell you from my personal experience, it wasn't the flu. It felt like the only way I tell people how I experienced it was I felt it was like a poison. Like it just, my muscles felt like spoiled milk. I know, it was just weird,
What?
man. Yeah, it was on a Monday and I would just like get these, I'd be like, something like this doesn't feel right. Like this feels weird. And then that Tuesday, I got a fever of like 103 and I never get a fever. Like, so I knew when I got a fever, I was like, still didn't think it was COVID. I was like, well, maybe I had heat exhaustion because it was in July, which we all know is hot. So, and I had been outside all that weekend in Nashville. And then the next day I kind of felt all right because it was coming in waves, man. It's weird. Like, and then I was like, I'm okay. I think I can cut some grass. I love cutting grass. I got a new zero-turn Hustler mower. So I was excited to get on the thing, cut some grass. Well, then I went to pour the gasoline in it, and I couldn't smell the gasoline.
Oh.
And I said, man, if you can't smell gasoline. And I said, I got it. I have it. And that test from that Tuesday came back positive. And it knocked me out for a good 3 weeks, man, to a month. Like, and the worst part about it for me, like I said, we got a little boy, so people, no matter where they stand on it, no matter what, I'm protecting him. I don't care what anyone thinks. My little boy's going to be safe.
Was he 3, 4 now?
He's 2. He's only 2.
Oh my gosh.
So, but he and he didn't catch it. My wife didn't catch it. My mother-in-law was visiting. She didn't catch it, which is weird, man. So it was just, but no, it was kind of like when you got it, it's like, well, let's ride. Let's see what happens. I mean, you got it now, but. Luckily, you know, I was a lucky guy, one of the lucky ones, and made it through because you just don't know how it's going to affect you. So,
how weird is it not having taste or smell?
Man, that was another the smell. I was changing dirty diapers. You know, after I got out of quarantine, I still couldn't smell. So that was great. You know, Owen had a dirty diaper. It's like, hey, I can change these all day. But the taste, man, is like it'll make you depressed. Like you're sitting there and you're like. People are eating good food and then you like it's nothing. It is nothing. And I have friends in Virginia Beach to this day who still can't taste after having it last October.
Jill was telling me that Tricia Yearwood still is struggling with taste and smell.
That's weird, man.
Yeah. We've got about 15 seconds. We're going to jump on the air and chat with Kevin there. And we're going to invite you to continue with your comments. You like, comment, and share. A lot of our usuals are on here this morning. Carmack watching from over in Ireland this morning. Thank you for being here. Lorraine's on with us up in Pennsylvania this morning. Reinhold is here from Germany this morning. Nice to have you on. Hold on, we got to go to work. Playing today's hottest country, it's Dixie 105.7. We're live on Facebook, facebook.com. I've got Kevin Mack in the studio this morning. With us. Nice to have you here, brother.
Oh, it's good to be here, Ray. Good to be back in the Outer Banks. Feels great.
Kevin is sitting in the Jill's chair this morning. We're live on our Facebook page. Broadcasting live from the Harley-Davidson Interactive Studios here in Nags Head, North Carolina. Nice to have you guys in with us this morning. Jill's over sitting in the guest chair. We're trying to put her on camera. So
Jill looks great today.
she always looks great.
She's
Dude,
beautiful.
I got the best looking co-host.
You do.
And let me tell you all this. Until you've worked in a situation where you can wrap your arm around your co-host and
Yeah.
kiss her without the fear of HR,
Yeah.
without getting called into the office on a regular.
We know what's going on in here every morning.
Dude, I harangue the living daylights out of her. I don't know how she gets any work done. It's like, leave me alone. Stop touching me. Quit pawing on me. Keep your hands to yourself. Morning roll call brought to you by Bertie County Peanuts and powered by Biggs Cadillac GMC. We're live on our Facebook page this morning, and we say congratulations to our winner of our water park tickets,
Maria Brickhouse.
Maria Brickhouse. I'm just a parrot. She says it, and I repeat it.
That's how it should be.
We do those shows with Dennis Anderson out at Muddy Motorsports Park.
Mhm.
I go out there, and Jill and I go out and MC. And it used to just be me and Dennis once in a while. And then Dennis and I are standing there talking on the microphones, and Jill's in the background popping off all these little comments. And she would say them, and we would just repeat them. And they started going over like gangbusters. So
Yeah.
Dennis calls me one day and says, "Hey," he talks.
Yeah.
"All right, hi." He says, "Yeah, you got to bring the Jill with you."
Yeah.
So,
Well, he's a smart man. I tell you, I haven't seen y'all in about a year and a half after 2020. And a lot of people after 2020, you look at them, they look pretty wore down, man. It was a hard year. But I looked at you two. I said, dang on, man. Jill, I walked in. Jill and Ray are looking great, folks. They look good. They're nice and tan, looking good. You got that button-up flower shirt on. Jill's glowing. I'm like, man, let's go. I'm ready for the day.
they make fun of me on Facebook. Our 19-year-old calls it a blouse.
What? That's
Shirts like this, yeah.
It's
like,
kind of like a grandmother tablecloth, but it looks good on you.
somewhere there's a grandma going, "Where are they?" Because my tablecloth.
I know, exactly.
happened?
It does. It looks like a grandmother tablecloth or curtains, but we're going to let you go with it. It still looks good. It looks good with you.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah, I could see this hanging in a Winnebago somewhere.
I guarantee you'll never wear it again now. Every time you see it, you're going to think of your grandmother.
My dad can't wear that blouse today. 17 after, got your morning mind bender coming up. Join us on our Facebook Live, Facebook Live / Dixie 105.7. Also on our YouTube channel this morning. I think Kevin is sharing it on his page. And coming up, more of your throwbacks. So Throwback Thursday brought to you by the Dunes Restaurant. Plus some bonus music. We'll play some Kevin Mack this morning.
Oh, gosh.
Come on.
Let's
Can't
do
wait?
it.
All right.
I guess.
All right, it's coming up next.
Let me ask you a question. Are you going to play hashtag?
Yeah, can we?
Yeah, I don't care.
What do you want? What do you want?
I got more stuff, man.
Well, I know. Kevin's like, I'm not just a one trick pony.
Can I send it? Can you play something else, or do you want to play hashtag? It does not matter to me.
We can play something else.
Can I send it to you, or
As
how do
long
you
as
do it?
yeah, I have to. Well, we have to go load it.
How long does that take?
Maybe a minute.
Really?
There's a guitar. You want to play something? It's probably not tuned. You have to tune it.
Mhm. As soon as I got down here, everybody was like, "Did you bring your guitar?"
That's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, that's
Now I'm on
pretty
vacation.
I don't know if it's any. It's probably dusty. Kevin's over there playing with the guitar. Marvin Bailey. Good morning. Roy from out in Washington. Reinhold. We mentioned you. Good morning, buddy. Over in Germany this morning. Happy Thursday, Lorraine. Good morning to you. Wesley joins us this morning. Hey, Ray and Jill.
Let me see something real quick.
Oh,
That
Maria's
screen
on here.
is so dusty. I don't know how you can see in that.
Does it look dusty?
It's terrible.
Oh, it does look dusty.
Oh my god.
From your angle, maybe it looks dusty.
It's super dusty. Ooh. That's awful.
So if I'm missing your comments, I apologize. Look, our winner's on here this morning.
Congratulations, Maria.
Maria, did you hear? You're our winner. You won 2 tickets to the water park.
Whoop whoop.
How about that? Lorraine says, congratulations. Tammy, good morning to you. Today is Mom One at Tarkington Moses' retirement. No way. Please tell her we said hello and happy retirement. That's
I
going to
haven't
be so
seen her since that
nice.
parade out there. I don't think.
It's been a while. I'm turning it this way so you can see what's going on here. Honey lamb. Well,
Ray,
Kevin,
should I email something to you? Can I email it to you?
yeah, just do it Morning Man.
Oh wait, morning
I'll give everybody my email.
Morning Man.
Morningman.ecri
ECRI
at gmail.com.
at what?
At Gmail.
Oh my gosh, I just typed AT. It's early, guys. I just typed AT.
I told you. I said
Morning. Oh, so MORNINGMAN .ECRI.
No,
No.
.ecri
Okay. At Gmail.
at Gmail. Not the word at, but at sign. Good morning, Pennsylvania. Hope you're doing all right. Oh, that was from early. Carmack is on here this morning. Morning, Jill and the other guy. Carmack, that's it. You're blocked. Yeah, block our friend from Switzerland this morning. Good morning, guys from the farm.
Well, he's in Ireland.
Did I say Switzerland? See, that's what you get, Carmack.
I just sent you a song that will help explain the reason we're here. We're all
Granny?
no, not yet. That's coming next year, and I want to tell you all about that. But it's for real right now. If it comes through, and if it does, there it is. You got it. So
Morning, everyone. Morning. I can hear. Okay, we'll just go back to this.
I love watching you in the morning, Ray, because it's like everyone. You definitely tell everybody good morning. You're like good morning, good morning, good early morning, good morning, hi, Tola, good morning to you.
I'd like to make sure everybody's included. My nephew's on here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, nephew. Take a shower.
I'm never
Enjoy
gonna
your
say
day.
Good morning to anybody again. Kevin's just gonna pick on me right away.
Yeah, Ray's like, I got a grandma color shirt on, and tell everybody good morning.
So I get up this morning and realize that I don't have a coffee mug in the house. One of these Yeti things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I left 2 of them in the car. So Jill's in the shower. I'm gonna go out, grab it out of the car. So I go out the back door. It closes behind me.
What time is this?
Like 4:10 in the morning.
Oh,
something
Lord.
like that. So I grab the mug. I go up and realize I've locked myself out of the house.
Is she sleeping or she's up?
She's in the shower.
Oh, okay.
So no way for me to get in the house except for to use the hidey key. So I go around to where the hidey key is, and it's dark, right? So I got to fumble to the thing, and then it falls down onto the deck in the dark.
Oh, God.
So I should pull up the security camera. It's probably pretty hilarious. I'm out there in my boxers crawling around on the deck looking for it, like Thelma.
Local radio DJ arrested for being in his briefs.
You there? Like when Thelma used to lose her glasses on Scooby Doo. Crawling around.
You want to hear a good story, dude? My friend, you know him. He's Shaggy up at Z104. Up in. So he when I lived in Virginia Beach, we hung out a lot, and his little boys. This is probably 7 years ago. So we had been out at a club, Peabody's, on the boardwalk in Virginia Beach, and we got back, and now he had a little boy who was Owen's age, my son's age now. So Shaggy was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. I'll talk to you tomorrow, whatever. So he goes inside. Well, I left my keys in his house. So he shut the door and locked it. It's 2 a.m. And I'm like, I don't have my phone. My car's locked in my car. I'm outside his house with no key. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting up, going to knock the door and wake that little boy up or his wife. So, like, I literally just stood outside for like 4 hours because he's the morning guy up there. So I knew he was going to get up at 5.
He's gotta get up.
He woke up. He's like, what are you still doing here? I was like, dude, my key's in your house. And he was like, I was like, I didn't want to wake up Brody. He was like, oh my God, you are a weirdo. Get your key and go home.
There's a homeless man sleeping on our front deck.
Oh, let me tell you, you don't want to wake them babies up, man, especially that early in the morning.
No,
because you won't get no sleep after that.
You're not going back to sleep after that. So.
You didn't have a lounge chair you could sleep
I was outside. No, and I didn't have nothing. I was laying. I had a 1999 Honda Accord. I was laying on the hood of that in Virginia Beach, waiting for him to wake up.
If you're just joining us, that's obviously not Jill. That's Kevin Mack.
Oh, it's me, Jill.
So
I should do that when we go on there. Be like, it's me, Jill. It was a long night.
Why did your voice get deeper when you did me?
Well, because it's Jill. This is Kevin. This is Jill. Oh, Ray, let me tell you about last night. Oh,
You should know he was there.
I know you were, Ray.
I was out drinking. Let me see if I can find the song. What's on there? See if I can find it.
It's my song for real right now, man.
For what?
There's a song called For Real right now. My little boys, they're listening back at the house. So I was like,
oh, I got you.
I would play When I Get to Heaven, but I cuss in it. So I'm like, well, maybe not.
The mouth on this guy.
The FCC won't let me be.
They're like the FCC.
No, but Granny's coming out next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been working on that. I got a good team behind it. Got a lot of great guys in Nashville. My publisher, Wyatt Durrett, who's I write a lot with. He writes all the Zach Brown, Luke Combs stuff. Big hit songwriter. Good friend of mine. It's me, him, my publisher in New York, and we got some other people in that are it's gonna be good. So we're hoping it's gonna be bottled up. Well, we know we have to have it bottled up by this fall, and Granny will be full force 2022.
Awesome.
And let's just say sometimes old Kevin Mack dresses like Granny.
If Granny needs a shirt.
There you go.
Let's not start
But it's
picking-
called
let's not pick on Ray.
it's called Shotgun Granny's Double Barrel Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh wow.
So
nice.
she shotgun Granny after the song.
Yeah,
And we got a lot of great things going with it, but we're excited.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Jump in here. We'll talk about the Mindbender, which is late already. Hey gang, good morning. It's Ray, Jill, and Kevin Mack hanging out on a Throwback Thursday. Listen, we're doing throwbacks today, but we're going to play this new one from Kevin Mack. Got that coming up here in just a hot minute or so. And Kevin is in with us in the studio this morning. Morning, brother.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing good because I'm in the Outer Banks for the week. Goal is to live here, but right now we take our weeks as we can, come here from Nashville and with the family and just enjoy the week. We've been out on the beach and going out to the Oregon Inlet today, go fishing with my dad and brother. So that's going to be fun.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, just going offshore for about 4 or 5 hours.
Let me ask you this: kind of a country star, kind of a Nashville guy, comes into the studio and doesn't bring his guitar with him. What's wrong with him?
One on vacation.
Oh, okay. yeah. Kevin is not supposed to be in here working today.
Well,
Just-
I wanted to bring him in, but when you got a little boy and you got to pack the stroller, you got to pack the cooler, you got to pack everything. There's not room for the guitar, so I just had to give it a kiss goodbye and say I'll see you in a week.
oh no, he's going through withdrawals.
A little bit, yeah. Well, because all my friends I see down there, they're like, "Hey man, did you bring your guitar?" And I'm like, "No, man, she's at home." Yeah.
So what's the new song we're gonna play?
Well, this song is on my record that I put out last year. It's called, and I just wanted to play this, man. It's called For Real Right Now, and it's a true story, man. I'm going fishing with my dad today. The first verse is true about my father going fishing. Second verse is about my wife Jackie. Little shout out to Virginia Beach in the song. And then when we have a little boy named Owen, man, and he's 20 months old. And I always wanted to be a dad, and so I wrote the third verse about him. It's called "Are You For Real Right Now?"
Really? All right. Listen, we're gonna play it, and we're live on our Facebook, our Facebook.com. So because of some engineering issues, I'm not
Mhm.
sure how this is gonna work out, but it's the beauty of live radio.
Yeah, let's go.
Right? So
Yeah.
let's give this a shot. Let's see a new one from Kevin Mack.
country songs and record them and just have fun playing. Now we're out playing shows again. We were down in South Carolina last month playing with Luke Combs and Eric Church at the Carolina Country Music Fest.
How was that? I heard it was great.
It was awesome, man. You know, we do a show called Southern Rounds, and it's a songwriter round with me, my buddy Wyatt Durrett, Dave Kennedy, Shannon Wilson, Levi Lowry, Tyler Reed. You know Tyler. Do you know Tyler Reed? Yeah.
Tyler's a good buddy of ours.
Yeah.
Tyler used to sleep on my floor.
Did he really?
Yeah, you have to remind him about that.
So we're about to go up to New Jersey in August to play with Zach Brown Band and Dan and Shay. So we do these Southern Round shows at these festivals.
Right.
So it's like a Bluebird Cafe kind of show, listening room, sit down. People can come to our tent and listen to these hit songwriters play the songs they wrote. But then I always get on stage too. Bob Durkin lets me on stage, and I do Kevin Mack and the Homies and jump up there and lay it down. So it was fun, man. I think for me to be back on stage, you know, I got to play that big stage. I played with Darius Rucker that day, so it was just nice to get on stage and light it up, man. And we just stomped it. It's like, you know, COVID stuck us. We were a bunch of dogs running around having fun. COVID stuck us in our cage, and I was ready to get out of the cage.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just didn't care. I was doing cartwheels, backflips, and I can't even do a cartwheel, but I was trying. But it was fun, man. It's good to be back playing, you know.
Well, listen, can you hang around? I know you've got a charter a little bit later on, but hang around for a couple minutes.
Yeah, man.
All
Yeah,
right,
we're good.
If you're just joining us, we're live on our Facebook this morning, broadcasting from the Outer Banks Harley-Davidson Interactive Studios here at Nags Head. Kevin Mack is our special guest. And are we, and I have to ask this just because I want to make sure we're within our realms here. That song that we just played.
Yeah.
Can I play that now?
Yeah, you can play that one. I'm gonna send you a couple, man. I want you to pick through them and see. You know, Ray, you're a radio DJ. You listen to music all the time, and us country artists and songwriters really depend on you guys because you got the ear and know what your audience wants to hear on a regular basis. So you can play that, but I'm gonna send you a couple more too.
Okay.
And see what you like. But you can play any song of Kevin Max that you want to play.
All right. Well, you know,
I love you, Ray.
I love how this business.
I know
how
there is. Yeah, that's why I'm throwing it on you.
Right. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
hang
buddy.
tight. We're still live on our Facebook page this morning. Let me run into the news here. Morning news this morning brought to you by your friends at CMIT Solutions. Stop worrying about your technology problems. Focus on your business. Let CMIT Solutions give you the support you deserve. This is normally Jill's job. We'll go to the newsroom for a look at the news from the Outer Banks Voice. With that is Mark Jerkowitz. Oh, Mark! I'm sitting over here trying to do Jill's job. I'm like, I don't know what she does. I don't know how she does this.
So is Mark at another studio?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember doing that. And you had to be like, hey, man, you there? We're going. And
It's time, baby.
what studio are they at? Like,
we've got studios here, and then we have some in Elizabeth City and in Eden.
okay.
So we got them kind of scattered all over because we've got 7 total. Hang on, I'm going to move some stuff around here. You know, do that behind the scenes. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Kevin used to be a disc jockey for
93.3.
back in the day.
Yep, WFLS in Fredericksburg. I love it, man. I've worked at 3 radio stations here in Virginia. Am I allowed to say them? Is it cool?
Yeah, we love all of our radio buddies.
93.3 WFLS in Fredericksburg, then 97.3 The Eagle in Virginia Beach, and then I also jumped over to 106 over there. I just love radio, man. I miss it. Might always be when I'm done burning it down and playing guitar and writing songs, man, I'll jump back in.
Go back in and go back.
It was just fun. Yeah, it's just fun, man. You know how it is.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about this songwriting thing you guys do. Because we talked about it one
Yeah.
night on the phone.
Well, it'd be good down here too, man. It's just so Southern Rounds is there's always been writer rounds where these, you got people who write songs for the artists that you listen to on radio. And when I moved to Nashville, I had I still do have a publishing deal. So I write songs for, other artists, and as well as myself and my whiskey. But we go out and play shows. So there's the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. If you've ever been there, it's a little room. You go sit down, get 4 writers sit in a circle, and they play their songs, their hit songs, or songs you haven't heard. Just great songs. These are great songwriters. So we take it on the road, man. We do it at festivals. We do it at corporate stuff. We do it at, county fairs and stuff, places.
Right.
And it's a listening room. It's like people come. It's not a rowdy concert where people are like jumping around and stuff. It's not a full band. It's like, hey, these are the stories behind the hit songs. So
and that's what really makes it great, because when you can when you can put the story with the song,
yeah.
it kind of
Yeah,
brings it to
you'll
a
have a
whole
guy
new
who
meaning.
wrote a hit song sit and tell you how he wrote it. That, like, for instance, I love, when Wyatt talks about Chicken Fried. He wrote Chicken Fried with Zach Brown, and he wrote that when he was 16 years old.
Isn't that crazy?
And yeah, he wrote that chorus when he was 16, and then years later. So it's stories like that, or hearing, a guy. You hear people like my buddy D. Vincent Williams talks about how he was a songwriter in Nashville. And man, he was about to fold it up and go home. And he had no idea that a big country, I can't even remember the guy, but cut his song. This is the early 90s, late 80s. And he was driving home, I think, or they were passing the airport, and his song came on the radio. And it was a big number one and kept him in Nashville. So it's just fun to hear that. Then hear that. I always like it too, because you're hearing the first guy who ever sang the song. You know what I mean?
Right.
The day the song was born, that guy was singing it.
Yeah.
So.
To think about a group of guys or gals sitting in a room, and for this stuff to roll off your tongues. Yeah. Some of these, the way these songs are put together, they say it in a way that we could never think of saying.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's when I came to town, I just wanted to become a better songwriter and play the Bluebird, which now I do, and hopefully the Grand Ole Opry here soon, and just learn. I always want to learn how to be better, and I was blessed enough to get down there and get around guys like Jeffrey Steele and Casey, right, with Casey Beathard and these guys. I mean, Casey wrote No Shoes, No Shirts, No Problem. Will Nance, who wrote She's Everything for Brad Paisley's, and these OGs that have been doing it for 30 or 40 years. And there's tricks to the trade, and you learn them.
Well, what I've always found fascinating about Nashville is guys like you mentioned, like Jeffrey Steele, and even guys like Brad Paisley and Luke Bryan, that started out writing songs, and they were writing hits for other guys before they were even.
Luke Bryan wrote Good Directions for Billy Currington. Then he broke out.
Yeah, Stapleton wrote Drink a Beer for Luke Bryan.
Yeah.
And
I saw Jake Owen. He had a song called Ghost that Chesney almost cut. Didn't cut it, and then he just broke out and was an artist, Yeah. So Nashville's a funny town, man. But it's like anything. It's just the music business, and it's for a musician, I think, and an artist, you're blessed and you're cursed, because these songs in your life, they're like your children. You know what I mean?
This is a Garth move.
Oh yeah.
This is quietly he'll say, "It's a blessing and a curse."
It is. Yeah, it is.
What he said. It's a blessing.
Because one day you're up here, next day you're here, next day you're here. One day I remember I was opening for Trace Atkins. There was 10,000 people out there.
Crazy.
But again, and then the next day I was playing a Food Lion parking lot for 3 people, and I'm down here. Yet I was like, hey, these 3 people want to hear music. They're standing in a Food Lion parking lot. This is when I'm in college and gigging.
Right.
You get those gigs that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But then the next day you're here. The next day you're here. The next day you're here. So but again, if you do it because you love playing music, if you do it for the right reasons, it's all good. If you can, I've been blessed enough to make a great living playing music, and so I'm blessed, man. And I just try to make other people happy and bring a little joy to the room.
When we first started talking today, we talked about the fact that you contracted COVID. But when this whole pandemic first started, from a guy that this is your living is being out in public. A lot of people couldn't go to work and that kind of thing, who worked in offices and factories and things like that. But when you're dependent on being on the road and being around people all the time, when this music industry just shut down, it ground to a halt. That had to be scary.
So it was March 14th, I think, or 15th. It was a Friday. COVID was coming out. My mom and my aunt came to visit in February, and I can remember saying, hey, y'all watch out for this COVID thing they're talking about on that plane. Like, we kind of didn't know. And then in March, she opened wide up, and, it was like, all right, country's shutting down. Well, I'm blessed enough to have a publishing deal. So, and my wife, she could work from home. So here's your blessing and your curse. Okay. Right. So it was March 14th or 15th, man. Everyone, every gig, every festival, everything called me and said, hey man, we're shutting down for the year. Yeah. So, but that previous year in 2019, my son was just born. I mean, he's my best friend, man, and he a little 2-year-old, and he said, I remember I was like, man, I'm not gonna be around him that much. I'm gonna be out on the road playing. I'm gonna miss him. I don't want to come home and be stranger danger. Well, guess what? It turned from daddy being out on the road. I was on tour with REO Speedwagon when my wife went into labor,
that's right.
opening for them, and they so I'm like, it's starting to get busy. Okay, Kevin, here we go. We're gonna be on tour, and then it shut down. But then guess what? I was daddy daycare for a year, and we're thicker than thieves, you know. So here's God going, yeah, but hold on, man. Let's just take a breather real quick and focus on this.
Yeah.
You know, and I got that whole year with him. Like, you know,
we were kind of the same way. We had gone almost 3 months with something every day of the week, where we were constantly running. We were doing, live broadcasts and appearances and hosting things and charity events. And I sat down with Jill probably maybe a month or two before March, and I said, listen, dude, we've got to take some time where we're just home, where we're not running every day, where we don't have something to do constantly. Things have got to change. And then we look up and the brakes were put on, and we were going nowhere.
You were forced to soak it up.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I'm on both. I'm like, hey, man, like we can't. It's kind of one of those things where we're so used to our normal lives, and then all of a sudden we're like told, and I felt so bad for the workers who were like put out of work on it, man. The small town workers, the guys, the local mom and pop shops, and I get it. You're talking to a guy who lost all his income, okay?
Yeah.
But on the other side, I also like seeing my mom and dad at Christmas and Thanksgiving and being able to pick up the phone and know they're okay and knowing health-wise, So I had to pivot, and again, I'm talking from a guy who lost his business for the year. Okay, I lost my income. I got a call and lost everything. But on the other side, I'm like, I'm still breathing. I'm still here. I'm still changing my son's diapers. So I lived in a neighborhood in Nashville. You know what I did? I started going around saying, hey, man, you want me to cut your grass for you? Like, I mean, I still had income from having a publishing deal, but you just got to pivot sometimes and go, hey, man, for me, I have to stay busy. So I got on my lawnmower, started running around cutting people's grass, writing songs while I was cutting grass. I do love to cut grass. And I had just bought a new zero turn, so I was out there cutting grass. But again, man, I try to stay, because this whole thing became, this way or that way. And I was like, hey, let me just tell you this. When I had it, it wasn't like the flu. I mean, it knocked me down. But man, I had some people who got it and ran 4 miles that day. The day they found out they had it. Then I had people who had it who died. People who got hospitalized and people who were like me who just had to sit out for about a month. But yeah, my one friend got it and he went and ran 4 miles that day. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But it's scary at the same time, because it's like when you got the flu, you got it. I know I got it.
Yeah.
But you could have it and not know it, and then I have it and it kills me.
Well, I got, we got both our shots, and when I got shot number 2, it hit me hard.
Did it really? Well, that's good.
You would never know that Jill had got it. I mean, because she was fine, but
same with Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, and they say, listen, it's kind of mimics what you're, you might see, and I was like, dude, I'm glad I got this.
No doubt. And you didn't lose taste and smell. So.
Right. We're gonna jump on air. I want to talk a little bit more about songwriting.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for hanging out with us. A lot of folks are still hanging in here this morning. I know we missed a ton of comments this morning. Good morning, y'all. Stay cool today. Ask Kevin about Good Dogs, cold beer.
Oh, yeah. It's a song.
Justin's on here this morning.
Hoisington?
Yep. Hang on. Here we go. Playing today's hottest countries, Dixie 105.7. And throwing them back on a Throwback Thursday. So Kevin Mack's in studio this morning. We're talking with him live on our Facebook page. And Kevin, we've been talking about songwriting and the craft behind the scenes type kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be when a songwriter would sit down, it was just a songwriter, basically by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly but surely there would be like maybe 1 or 2 songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
How many songwriters, when you're doing a songwriting session with other people, how many are in there?
Man, it just nowadays, dude, the way I believe is whatever gets the song done. I don't like more than 3, but sometimes if I can get a pretty good song with 3 guys or girls, then I go, okay, it's almost there. Let me call my buddy James Otto, for instance. Let me call James or my buddy Jacob Lida and say, hey, man, listen to this and see if you can take it from 90% to 100%. And I just had a song I did that with, and I'm glad I did, because I want the song to be the best it can be. I don't want 18 writers on it, but usually we can knock it out between 2 to 4. You're good.
Yeah, nowadays, whenever we see any of those credits come through, they usually have at least 3 on there.
Yeah.
And there are some staples. These guys that are cranking out hit after hit, and there are some names out there that everybody knows their songs, but may not know them.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about songwriters, and a buddy of yours, guy I know, Jeffrey Steele.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he still does. He used to play every Saturday night down at the Hermitage there in Nashville with his little house band.
Yeah.
And we're in town one day, and we're out watching Jeffrey play, and he's just going through song after song after song. And some guy was standing beside me and said, in between, it was right at that right time when you could hear everybody. The guy standing beside me looks at his buddy and goes, "Does this guy play anything original?" And Jeffrey still looks at him and says, "Hey, buddy, if I didn't write it, I don't sing it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You wrote, wrote International Harvester, Big Green Track,
Yeah,
I did."
People are they don't. It's funny when you start talking about the music business to people who aren't in it, which is understandable, and they just don't. They can't comprehend how it works. It took me 2 years to understand how it works, and I still don't understand. But my buddy Justin Hoisington just commented, and he said, "Good beer, good songs, good dogs." That song I actually wrote with Jeffrey Steele, and it was just me and Jeffrey. So there's a 2-way, but I'm writing with Jeffrey Steele. We wrote 2 songs that day. And that song that he's mentioning, which will be out next year, is one of my favorite. Probably besides Granny Drinks Whiskey, it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
Really?
Yeah, and Jeffrey's a monster, man, and he's a great vibe in a room. Oh yeah, but he's an OG. He's been there doing it for 30 years, and for you to get in the room with that guy, it's like I said, man, just go in there and open your ears and learn from the best. And then I felt me get a little better that day. So, but yeah, those guys down in Nashville. Nashville is an original music town. They they don't want to hear covers. We want to go down there and find the next Jason Aldean, the next Keith Urban, the next something different, and what they got to say, and that's what I love about it.
How scary is it when you first get into Nashville and you're walking down Broadway and you realize you're looking in a window and every guy in every window playing in all those bars just like you?
What do you mean? Like how? What do I
mean? Because I would think, listen, from my standpoint, I think, okay, I'm going to go to Nashville. I'm going to move out here. I want to make it big.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a chance we doing it. Then the realization has got to come at some point. Okay, there are a million other guys and gals out here looking to do the same thing.
You want to know what the secret is?
Yeah.
Never go down there. When you go down there, you better be different. Because if you're going down there, you're just going to a tourist town doing what everybody else is doing. You need to have something else to say, something different. Have your own personality, have your own voice, have what you want to sing about, write what you want to sing about, to let me know who you are, let the people know who you are. People don't want 20 Jason Aldeans. We got one. We don't want 20 Johnny Cashes. We had one, Right. We want the next, who are you? What do you do? What's different about you? And that's what takes you off to even I look at it, booking shows. What's going to make someone want to get up and go see you play live? Is it a song they want to hear live? Is it the way you perform? What is it? Is it how good? Listen, there's a lot of great singers down there. There's a lot of great guitar pickers down there. But I always go back to Jimmy Buffett. He wasn't Josh Groban on singing. He wasn't Eddie Van Halen on guitar, but he's worth a lot of daggone money,
Yeah, Jimmy, unless I'm wrong, unless he's fallen off, he's on the Forbes list. He's worth like $500 million.
Yeah,
he's a half a billionaire.
He's a genius.
He's only had one #1 song.
Yeah,
that was with Alan Jackson.
The guy who produced that song you just heard, Keith Segal, produced that record.
Keith is a monster.
Yeah, Keith produced my record last year, and I write for him and a guy named Richard Blackstone in New York. And so when I came down to Nashville, man, a lot of people were like, we don't get it, because I don't fit the normal formula. Like you said, I'm a little bit crazier than the normal formula, and I don't like authority, man. I like doing my own thing. And I met Keith, and Keith was like, man, you remind me of Zach Brown, who Keith produced. Because so Keith produced that record he produced for real right now. He produced #winning that y'all play. So he really believed in me when I came to town. And you need those people to put their arm around you and help court you around town. Yeah, you got to have it, man. But you got to have something to offer them to make them want to put their arm around you. So my advice is just don't pick up a guitar one day and run down there and go, hey, I'm here. And everyone's going to go, we've been here for 10 years. Like, go down there and go, hey, I want to learn. Help me find me. Help me find me to give it to you, So that's.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with Kevin Mack this morning. Kevin's in town, supposed to be on vacation. We drug him into the studio this morning.
Yeah, man.
So when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about songwriting. I want to play you a song that was inspired by a guy who was out landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's out running a weed eater and gets hit in the head with a rock. You'll never believe where. We'll talk about it coming up next.
It's a song?
Yeah.
What is it?
Every storm runs out of rain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was at one of Kingsley's things. One of the songwriting rounds that they were talking about that.
Hitting the head with a weed eater wrote a hit song. Was that Matt Warren?
I was trying to think. I'm gonna look at
Matt Warren wrote that song.
Every storm runs out of rain.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're going to wrap up this Facebook Live, continue our conversation with Kevin. Find him on the Facebook page.
You guys have a great day.
Where can they find? They can find you on Twitch, right?
Twitch. I'm Twitter. I'm on Instagram at Kevin Mack Music. But do me a favor if you're on here now. I'm starting a whiskey company, and it's going to be out next year after a song I wrote, which is, another part of it, starting different businesses with your music. It's a Shotgun Granny's Whiskey. So follow me on Instagram at Shotgun Granny's Whiskey. That's what I want everyone to follow because we're coming out.
Shotgun Granny's Whiskey.
Yeah,
we'll put a link in.
Yeah, put a link in there because everyone that's going to be running full force next year, and so that's my next single next year, and I'm running full force with a bottle of whiskey. So it's going to be great, man.
Hang tight here. We're going to jump back in here in a second. Guys, thank you for being here.